Okay.
Okay. So we were asked the other day about what to do with a colony that may have made it through winter, but didn't have the numbers to expand or grow as springtime came. And so we're going to go through this colony. This colony is in essence of that. This is actually a split that we made where the majority of the bees actually went back into the other hive. And so what we're left with is a queen and a small group of attendants. There may be about 100 bees in here. This is really common to open up a hive in the spring and you come across this and a lot of people go, well, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just close it up and leave it. And that is not the right answer for this scenario. If the bees don't bring in enough forage, if they're not bringing in enough pollen, what ends up happening is the queen will not lay because there's not enough resources to feed those new mouths, the brood. And so the hive just stays stagnant. No bees can go out to forage in enough volume to bring food in, so the queen doesn't lay. So ultimately this hive will die off. It's in demise basically. And so what we need to do is intervene in one way or the other. We either can add frames of brood to this hive, or we can combine this hive with another group of bees. So let's say we had 2 small colonies. We could combine those 2 small colonies with this. And so that's kind of what we're going to do. I've got a split that we made earlier this year that didn't take. It didn't have a queen that ended up making it into that colony. So what I have now is just an expanse of bees on some frames, and so we're going to add them to this, try and increase the numbers and create that foraging power so that this queen can start laying. So if we take a look in here, this is about what's left of this this colony. And so we don't have very many bees at all that are left in here. I don't see the queen on this frame. She should be pretty easy to spot based on the small number of bees. So we're going to take a peek on this one here. And so yeah, so she's here. We can see her at the tip right there. That's our queen. And again, there's just not enough bees in here for her to lay a pattern, for them to keep it warm, for them to bring in enough pollen and food. So she is essentially stopped laying. This is a really good queen. We know that when we moved her in here, she was super productive and doing a good job. So the way that we're going to do this in a long lang versus a traditional Langstroth, so we're going to put these together. We're going to take our Nook box. We're going to put a couple of frames, the frames with the most resources on them. So I've got some frames in here that still have some capped honey from this hive from last year. So we're going to put these between these 2 colonies of bees. The one that's queen right over here, and we're going to put our frames with the bees we hope to introduce on this side. This will give them almost a barrier, kind of like doing newspaper between Langstroths. Those frames just give them a barrier. They will stay separate probably for about a week, and hopefully over that week's time the new queen's pheromones will introduce and we'll get those 2 colonies to merge together. And again, this colony is not super big. There's no brood in this colony. They're not queen right. you know, and so they're definitely very busy, but this colony, you know, doesn't have a queen, and so it would ultimately just continue to dwindle in numbers.
Seems as if they were made for each other.
Yeah. Yeah, they will create a symbiotic relationship for sure. Okay, so if we take a look, we've got our original colony that's queen right. They're in these two frames here. We have 1, 2, 3, about 4 frames of separation between these two different colonies. This should be enough to get them to merge, but it will take them several days. These bees are going to be standoffish to each other, but it should get them to merge together over the course of the next week or so. So we'll come back and we'll take a look at this hive. Today is Friday. We'll probably take a look at this next weekend and just make sure that they are merged together and happy and starting to forage, and we'll kind of go from there.
Good job.